Hey guys. Geez, ooh, sorry, the screen just got all bright. I hate the lighting in this room. Okay, anyway, sorry. So in response to my last video about Sweep and, the Kate Tiernan series, I got several messages from folks who were like, yeah, okay, but you've got to talk about Circle of Three, or, well, Circle of Three is a much better series. Yes, you people are absolutely right. I must talk about Circle of Three, and Circle of Three is a vastly superior series. So, this is it. The Circle of Three is awesome video. It's funny, too, because this was sort of brought to a head a couple days ago. As some of you know, and as I think I mentioned, I drove to Michigan to visit family. I am back in Alabama with other family, and anyway, got back in yesterday. But one thing that I always do when I'm in Michigan is I visit Schuler's Books and Music, which I don't know if it's a chain or not, but we don't have them down in the South. And I like going to Schuler's because they have a pretty respectable used section, and I always get lucky and find something interesting. And while I was poking around Schuler's, I found Book 6 in the Circle of Three series. And I know the video is always backwards when I use the computer camera. But anyway, it was $1. And this is significant because Circle of Three is quite possibly the greatest fictional series, particularly for teenagers, involving Wicca, ever written. It's out of print. You can't get them. And so to find one of them for $1 is, well, it made my day. I think you can still buy the first three or four books on Amazon new, but the later books you can only get ebook versions, and even the ebook versions are pretty recent. It used to be that you had to find them on eBay or something, and there was a period where a couple of the books were going for a fair bit of money, especially, they're mass market paperbacks, and I always scoop them up when I find them used because since they are mass market paperbacks, they fall apart. And the way I read them, because I reread the series basically anytime I'm bored or I just need to shut my brain off for a while or I just want a story, because I really don't read fiction. And when I do read fiction, I frequently turn to old favorites. I read The Lord of the Rings pretty much every year. I think I've mentioned before, but my favorite novel is Watership Down by Richard Adams, and I can't even tell you how many times I've read that book. So when I read a novel, it's pretty rare that I'm reading a new novel. I'm reading one that I've read many times. So anyway, Circle of Three is a young adult series. It's 15 books long. Excuse me, it's 14 books long. It's 14 books long, and it's about 3 girls who get involved in Wicca, and basically over the course of the 14 books is their year and a day of study. They start out in the first book and a half, they're just doing it together, and then in the second book they join up with a more formal class that's run by a few women at a local New Age bookstore. And it's all about them attending this class and, the lessons that they learn along the way. And meanwhile, they're high school students, so they're dealing with all of the usual teenage stuff. But the reason it's such a badass series is because it's really, really realistic. There are a couple of exceptions, and I say exceptions, it's things like, there are a couple of books that are about communicating with the dead and spirits, and I'm not saying that stuff like that isn't possible. I think it is. It's just in the books there's like physical manifestations of spirits and things that I remain skeptical about. And I think a lot of other people do too, but what have you. By and large, the books are extremely realistic. It doesn't whitewash so much, and there's not a whole lot of sugarcoating that goes on, and it is Wicca that's in the books, more or less. And anyway, unlike a series like Sweep, or even like the series that Silver Ravenwolf came out with in the early 2000s, the Witch's Night Out series, which, by itself was terrible. And I say terrible in a loving way because I also love those books. As you might have noticed, I really just love trashy Wiccan fiction. It's, I don't know, it's like some people listening to Britney Spears or something, which don't tell anyone, but I also love. Yeah. Trained jazz musician right here. Yeah, loves Britney Spears. Don't tell. Anyway, so anyway, Circle of Three is a really, really fantastic series. The first book is called So Mote It Be. I think you can still buy it on Amazon. It's like $5. They're cheap books if you can find them. And it follows these 3 girls through their year and a day. And they're way better than Sweep. Way better than Sweep. I could have wept when I found out that Circle of Three was going out of print. Meanwhile, Sweep was going to its 2nd print. It's now in its 3rd. And that's great. But come on. Circle of Three, Isobel Bird. So much better. So much better. In fact, this is also kind of embarrassing, but what have you. So my big gift for Christmas was a Barnes & Noble Nook. And I'll probably make a video about this separately, but I will tell you, I'm brand new to ebooks, and the first thing I did was went and downloaded a couple of the Circle of Three books, because they're awesome, and the idea of just having them in my purse whenever I wanted to read them was very appealing. So, whatever you're doing now, you should stop, and you should go online. You already are online. Look, it's like divinely sanctioned or something. And you should get yourself a copy of Book 1, Circle of Three, So Mote It Be, by Isobel Bird. So Mote It Be.